The electricians are likely indicating that the existing electrical wiring isn't suitable for remote control fans and lights. There are several potential reasons for this. One possibility is that the wiring in the house is older. Older wiring systems might lack the necessary conductors, specifically a neutral wire at the switch location, to properly power the receiver unit in a remote control fan or light fixture. Many remote control systems require a constant hot, a neutral, and a switched hot wire to operate correctly. Another reason why remote control functionality might be limited is the type of switches currently installed. Standard switches simply interrupt the flow of power to the fixture. However, remote control systems often require more sophisticated switching arrangements or even direct wiring to a control module. The switches might not be compatible with the remote control receiver's requirement. Furthermore, an improperly grounded electrical system can cause issues with remote control devices. Grounding is crucial for safety and proper operation of electrical equipment. Without proper grounding, voltage fluctuations or electrical noise can interfere with the remote control signal, leading to unreliable operation or even damage to the equipment. If the wiring isn't properly grounded, using remote control devices could create safety hazards. You can purchase a remote control fan and light fixture and operate it manually using wall switches, effectively bypassing the remote control functionality. This means the fan and light would be controlled by the existing wall switches, just like a standard, non-remote controlled fixture. This setup would negate the benefits of having a remote control, which offers convenience and control from a distance. It is recommended to have a qualified electrician thoroughly inspect the wiring. The electrician can identify the specific reason why remote control fans and lights are not compatible with the existing electrical system. After identifying the problem, the electrician can perform the necessary repairs or upgrades to make the system compatible with remote control devices. This might involve running new wiring, replacing switches, or improving the grounding system. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for safe and proper electrical installations. Firstly, the electrician will check the wiring to determine if it meets current safety standards and is adequate for supporting remote control fan and light fixtures. Secondly, they will assess the grounding system to ensure it is properly installed and functioning correctly. Thirdly, they will examine the switches and wiring connections to identify any potential issues. The NEC Article 314 covers outlet boxes, device boxes, and junction boxes, and how they are properly installed and sized. This is important because the receiver for the remote control fan will need to fit inside of one of these boxes. NEC Article 404 covers switches, including their installation and proper use. Section 404.2 addresses switch connections and ratings. NEC Article 410 covers luminaires, lamp holders, and lamps. This article provides requirements for the installation of lighting fixtures, including those with remote control capabilities. NEC Article 250 covers grounding and bonding. A proper grounding system is essential for the safe operation of electrical equipment, including remote control fans and lights. Section 250.4 outlines the general requirements for grounding and bonding. Section 250.50 covers grounding electrode systems. Section 250.118 specifies types of equipment grounding conductors. Finally, NEC Article 300 covers general wiring methods. This article provides requirements for the installation of wiring, including cable types, wiring methods, and conductor identification. Section 300.3 addresses conductors of different systems. Section 300.11 covers securing and supporting wiring. The electrician can determine if the wiring has a neutral wire, proper grounding, and adequate capacity for the remote control fan and light. The absence of a neutral wire at the switch box is a common issue that prevents remote control fan and light installation. In older homes, the switch loop often only includes a hot wire and a switched hot wire, without a neutral. The electrician may need to run a new cable from the switch to the fan location, including a neutral wire. The grounding system must be properly installed and connected to ensure safety and prevent electrical noise from interfering with the remote control signal. The electrician will check the grounding electrode system, which typically consists of a grounding rod or connection to a metal water pipe. They will also verify that all metal parts of the electrical system, including the fan housing and metal boxes, are properly bonded together. The capacity of the wiring must be sufficient to handle the additional load of the remote control fan and light. The electrician will calculate the total load of the fan and light, including the motor and any lighting elements. They will then compare this load to the ampacity of the existing wiring to ensure it is adequate. NEC Table 310.15b16 provides ampacity ratings for various conductor sizes based on insulation type and temperature rating. If the wiring is undersized, the electrician will need to install larger conductors to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. The electrician will inspect the existing switches to determine if they are compatible with the remote control system. Some remote control systems require specific types of switches or wiring configurations. The electrician may need to replace the existing switches with compatible models. They will also ensure that the switch box is large enough to accommodate the remote control receiver. The electrician will assess the overall condition of the wiring to identify any signs of damage, deterioration, or improper installation. They will look for cracked or brittle insulation, loose connections, and evidence of overheating. Any damaged or deteriorated wiring must be repaired or replaced to ensure safety and reliability. Remote control fans and lights typically include a receiver module that is installed in the fan or light fixture. This module receives the signals from the remote control and controls the fan speed and light intensity. The electrician will ensure that the receiver module is properly installed and connected to the wiring. They will also verify that the receiver module is compatible with the remote control. Some remote control systems allow for multiple fans or lights to be controlled from a single remote. The electrician can configure the system to meet your specific needs. They will also provide instructions on how to use the remote control and program the various settings. If the existing wiring cannot be easily upgraded, there may be alternative solutions, such as using a wireless remote control system that does not require a neutral wire at the switch location. These systems typically use a battery-powered remote and a receiver that is installed in the fan or light fixture. The electrician can evaluate these options and recommend the best solution for your situation. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to hire a qualified electrician to perform any repairs or upgrades to your electrical system. An electrician has the knowledge, skills, and tools to safely and effectively complete the work. They will also ensure that the work complies with all applicable codes and regulations. If the house is older, it may have knob and tube wiring or aluminum wiring. These types of wiring can be problematic and may need to be replaced before installing remote control fans and lights. Knob and tube wiring is an older type of wiring that is no longer used in new construction. It consists of single insulated wires that are supported by ceramic knobs and tubes. Knob and tube wiring is more susceptible to damage and overheating than modern wiring. Aluminum wiring was used in some homes in the 1960s and 1970s as a cheaper alternative to copper wiring. However, aluminum wiring is more prone to corrosion and can cause loose connections, which can lead to fires. If the house has knob and tube wiring or aluminum wiring, it is recommended to have it inspected by a qualified electrician and replaced with modern copper wiring. This will improve the safety and reliability of the electrical system and allow for the installation of remote control fans and lights. The electrician will also check the circuit breaker panel to ensure that it is properly sized and functioning correctly. The circuit breaker panel protects the electrical system from overloads and short circuits. If the circuit breaker panel is undersized or malfunctioning, it can create safety hazards. The electrician will replace any faulty circuit breakers and ensure that the panel is properly labeled. The electrician will also check the voltage at the fan and light location to ensure that it is within the proper range. The standard voltage in most homes is 120 volts. If the voltage is too low or too high, it can damage the fan and light. The electrician will use a voltmeter to measure the voltage and correct any issues. They will also ensure that all wiring connections are properly tightened and secured. Loose connections can cause overheating and potential fire hazards. The electrician will use a torque screwdriver to tighten all wiring connections to the proper specifications. If the existing wiring is not suitable for remote control fans and lights, the electrician may recommend running new wiring from the circuit breaker panel to the fan and light location. This will ensure that the fan and light have a dedicated circuit with the proper wiring and grounding. The electrician will use appropriate wiring methods and materials to comply with all applicable codes and regulations. After completing the electrical work, the electrician will test the fan and light to ensure that they are working properly. They will also provide you with a certificate of compliance, which verifies that the work has been completed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Remember that working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is always best to hire a qualified electrician to perform any repairs or upgrades to your electrical system. An electrician has the knowledge, skills, and tools to safely and effectively complete the work. They will also ensure that the work complies with all applicable codes and regulations.